Chicago is a beautiful city filled with a diverse mix of cultures and lived experiences. To tourists, it's a beautiful destination where you can stop by the Bean or have a picnic by the lake. But for some Chicagoans, Chicago is a tale of two cities. You can see the difference in parts of the city just by riding the Red Line. The farther north or south you go, the demographics and levels of development change. It isn't a mistake or coincidence. Kendra Freeman, a native Chicagoan and vice president of the Metropolitan Planning Council, gives us a little history on segregation in Chicago.
One big touch point was the Great Migration, and as you know, the black population specifically in Chicago started to grow, the decisions that the city made on how to handle, the growing black population was really detrimental to what we see today.
Chicago is listed as one of the top 3 segregated cities in the U.S. Let's take a trip on the Red Line to see how different your life experience is based on your zip code. My name is Jessica Jones, and I work as a multimedia journalist for United Way. Being from the South Side, I never really noticed how different other parts of the city were until I got to college. So I went to Loyola, which is up north near Rogers Park, and on the weekends I would take the Red Line home. The further south I got, the more black people I would see. But I noticed once I passed Chinatown going north, you no longer see people of color. But I know you have seen this similarly, Tate, so tell me a little bit about your Red Line experience.
Yeah, my name is Tate Samata. I'm also a multimedia journalist with United Way. My experience is pretty much the opposite. I live on the north side by the Sheridan stop in Lakeview. You see a lot of Cubs fans, a lot of young professionals, but the thing you really notice is that everyone's white. It's actually very rare to see people of color.
Being from the South Side and working in economic development, Kendra has seen firsthand the present-day effects of redlining on communities of color.
Redlining was essentially a tool. It was a map that was colored, and it was used to determine where lending would happen and where you can get a loan. So certain neighborhoods, particularly black and brown neighborhoods, were colored according to the perceived risk of making an investment in those communities. Black communities were more often colored red as high risk, and so bankers and financing institutions would not lend there, and it made it almost impossible for people to get a loan.
We can notice the difference in an area's resources just by looking through the window and watching the landscapes change. It's a harsh reality that in Chicago, your zip code can be the single most impactful determinant of your health and success outcomes. Organizations like United Way and Metropolitan Planning Council see these issues and are figuring out ways to create policies that will bring more resources to these Southside communities.
The city did a lot of work on creating an equitable transit-oriented development policy plan. So that's looking at the places around transit and thinking about how do you invest in those places, like across the street at 95th Street, where we have a brand new station, but not a whole lot around it.
Riding the Red Line going either direction gives you a chance to see the big picture of Chicago. Who lives in these neighborhoods? What do they have to offer? And how can we come together to build a stronger Chicago region? No matter the zip code, every person should have access to quality health, education, safety, and economic development. United Way is partnered with our 10 neighborhood networks across the Chicagoland region to ensure all of our neighbors can thrive.